OG Hollywood tapping in again. So I'm hoping this information that I'm giving y'all is not true. I'm hoping it turns out to be a fraud. Because what I'm hearing now, I've been hearing all day, is this word going across the internet that Larry Hoover's a rat.
And Highsmith pulled a gun and started shooting. I got hit.
I didn't say that. To the GD Nation, salute. Like I said, I'm hoping this is not true. I heard it first on Seti Nash. Now 1090 Jake is running with it. I saw the paperwork. I read over it. I don't see no docket number. I don't even see a police station on it. It's so much information that I don't see on this alleged paperwork that I myself personally would have never made a video and ran with that saying it's paperwork on Larry Hoover if that's all the paperwork they had. But we're going to get into this. Shout out to Seti Nash. Let's get into this clip, y'all.
It says Parker High School, located at 6500 Stewart Ave, was the scene of a youth gang battle on September 4th, 1968. God dang, bro. Let me get rid of this camera. Come on. There we go. 18-year-old Larry Hoover of 6853 Green Street informed the police that he was standing in a school hall just outside.
Now, I just got to say, man, I got to stop this for a second because I'm still bewildered by, like, after all these years, after all these decades, that man walked the Fed yard. You don't know how many people wanted his head? Nobody came up with no paperwork until after his sentence is commuted. I find that odd. I do. I really find that odd.
Outside the principal's office when two members of the East Side Disciples appeared. The boys, James Highsmith, 18 years of 6534 Emerald Ave in Leonard Longstreet, age 20 years, 633 West 62nd Street, were not students at Parker High School. Hoover related that the two walked past me in the hall and Highsmith smiled, then Longstreet said, "Burn him." Highsmith pulled a gun and started shooting. I got hit. Bullets also struck two bystanders. Mildred Civils, age 15 years, of 7214 Peoria Street, and Louis Jackson, age 15 years, of 6815 May Street. All three Parker High School students were shot in the leg and rushed to the St. Bernard's Hospital for treatment. Only minutes after the shooting, police officers arrested James Smith and Leonard Longstreet at the time of the Parker shooting. Battle Longstreet and Highlands were at liberty on bond awaiting trial on two separate shootings that occurred earlier in the summer. At the same time, the police also arrested 17-year-old Gregory Williams of 6538 Morgan Street, who was carrying a pistol in Parker High School hall. Williams was a member of the Supreme Gangsters, a Cook County grand jury subsequently returned the indictment number 68-3443, which charged James Highland and Leonard Street with aggravated battery on Larry Hoover. Preliminary hearings on the case were held in the courtroom. Judge David Serta on September 17, 1968, attended the hearings, and Vicky Berry, age 16, 6629 South Morgan Street. Vicky Berry was a member of the Supreme Gangsters, of which Larry Hoover. Oh, man. Bro, you know it's crazy. You know it's crazy. I said what happened. I was going to say this shit in my Larry Hoover video. What's going to happen when they dig up some shit that these cats did? Okay. Let me say this, because it's going to seem like I'm taking up for the GDs. See the pitchfork, right? I'm taking up for the GDs. I'm not. 1968. Nah. In the streets today, yeah, that'd be considered snitching. Way back when, I can't consider that snitching based on the part of this. They shot 15-year-old, 16-year-olds, and all of that stuff. They let it fly.
If and this was true, if and it was true, like the age thing wouldn't really be a factor, man. I couldn't overlook it due to the age. And that's due to the fact that at 15 years old, 16 years old, is when I was really starting to beef with grown niggas, like older than me. And like, I was in the thick of it. I wouldn't even, like, first thing I thought about when I just started at 16 beefing with grown niggas, time I had to fight with Reggie Simmons from Bronx River. One of my big homies too, man. May he rest in peace. But I met Reggie Simmons back when I used to stay in River Park Towers. He used to be coming through, always had on an army suit with a Tech 9 on him and all that. His family's over in the Towers. Mooch and Ralph and the twins, Donald and David, and them niggas, that's their cousin. Like I said again, rest in peace. That was a big bro to me at one time. You know what I'm saying? I got a lot of love and respect for Reg. But I ain't never heard of him doing no foulness. But this was a while back. Like I said, I was 16. We got into it one time. This nigga Reg said he wanted to fight me. I ain't gonna front. I tried to turn it down. I ain't want to fight this nigga, man. Like, I kind of looked up to the nigga a little bit in terms of like, I came in the street green. He was already running 1,000 miles an hour, so he's one of the guys I used to learn things from. So told me he wanted me to fight him. I didn't want to fight him. Nigga pulls out a gun, shot at the floor, at the ground near my feet. It's in front of Stevenson Commons when the deli was on the other side, Nancy and Alex Deli. Nigga shot at the ground by my feet, told me to fight him. He was gonna shoot me. So I put my hands up. A little while later, Reggie was sitting on his back pocket. Now, after that happened, something happened with my confidence. My confidence just grew. I started beating up a lot of niggas who was older than me. Warren from Sackworm, Slim. About 15, no, about 16 when I beat him up. That was like right after the Reggie fight. That was right after that, yeah. He was older than me then too. The nigga Sean hit me in the back of the head with a pistol. The same Sean that shot Pete off the bike. I don't know if I said Eddie Ed shot Pete off the bike. That was a slip of the tongue. Eddie Ed the one shot him in the hat. Sean the one shot him off the bike. That same Sean hit me in the back of the head with a goddamn pistol when I was beating the brakes off of Warren. I guess Warren didn't expect for a kid to be a rumbling machine like that. He thought he was gonna come over there and beat me up. But he came over there and that's not what happened. So the age thing, 15, 20, 16, 20, y'all in the same age bracket. That's not really a pass.
Today's standards, that would be snitching. Those standards then, that's not telling. Even though technically he told. So if you don't believe what I'm about to tell you, then don't believe it. And some of y'all gonna say, well, you picking and choosing, Steady Nash, because if it would have been this person and that person, this person, that person, you would have went off. And in that instance, I can see where you're coming from. I just would tell you this. An 18-year-old in high school means he's a high school student. I don't know what pressure he was under. I don't know any of that crap. Would I have done that shit? Hell nah. Hell no. Some of y'all, oh, bro, you was on the news. Yeah, I'm not in that paperwork. Oh, bro, your brother and stuff like that. Yeah, nobody ever got charged with a shooting. That's why I didn't respond to that BS. Because the stories they tell now, they're just making it up. And that's cool for them. Get your coins. But as far as Larry Hoover goes, bro, it's a very bad look. But I'm going to say this, and I'm going to end it here. Don't nobody care. That man ain't never getting out of the state of Illinois' freaking prison system. Hopefully he gets to run general population and lives his life out amongst the rest of the inmates, but he's not getting out of the pen no time soon. Would he be able to do good? Let's see him do good for the ones in the penitentiary in the state of Illinois. Then let's see it matriculate to the streets. That's how I see it working. Is he a snitch by California law? Hell yeah, he is. But 1968, bro, when you're still fighting for civil rights, I just have a hard time even believing that shit, bro.
So what do y'all think, man? This man is 74 years old. Is this something that we should even be discussing? Do y'all think it's possible for him to have survived in the prison system for that long without this rumor surfacing sooner? Has anyone heard this rumor prior to today? Timing of it doesn't make sense. You know, it seems as though, you know, there's always this thing with diminishing whatever leader we may have or respect. You know, someone is going to come out and throw some dirt on his name. I've been telling you guys since I've been up here, there is no such thing as a perfect man. There's no such thing as a perfect man. If you will allow the flaw within every one of us to keep you from respecting him, believing him, and following him, then they've successfully prevented us from ever having a leader. Everyone, someone who the people respect stands up. It's always one of us too, who looks for some flaw to come up with about him, to tell the people, to diminish his respect. We got to stop doing that, y'all.
And considering the victims that were shot, them rules didn't exist. I'm sorry, bro. Them rules did not exist. So I can't get mad at you.